So the veil is the thinnest that it has ever been right now. The planet is going through a shift. It has been going on for centuries, right? But because the veil is the thinnest it's ever been right now, this means that the planet is getting ready to fully anchor within. All of the fear and the survival energy and just the chaos and distortion that has been being broadcast at such a high intensity lately within the 3D matrix is because of this factor. The planet is almost at a full anchoring process. And what's happening with that as well is there's a timeline shift that has occurred for many beings that exist on this planet, an opportunity to exist in these new higher waves of frequency that the planet is anchoring into. And there has been many interdimensional beings on the planet that has been assisting with this process, assisting many many of us in integrating and anchoring into these excuse me, into these higher octaves of frequency. And so what's occurring with that is basically if the planet is anchoring to a higher frequency and the opportunity has arisen for humanity to embody and integrate into these higher frequencies that the planet is now fully getting accustomed to. What's happening with the 3D matrix is it is basically collapsing under itself because it exists at such a low, dense, heavy nature, heavy frequency that it cannot make the transition. So all of the beings that are within the 3D matrix, that are heavily ingrained within it, that are heavily indoctrinated, that are choosing not to awaken, that are choosing to stay in slumber, because let's be real, every being has a spiritual team. And your spiritual team is always trying to assist you, to lead you in the direction that is beneficial for you. If your signal is too dense and it's too muddied and you're too ingrained in your lower nature, you are not going to be receptive to the the messages or the assistance that your spirit team is broadcasting, right? So many beings are not awakening or not seeing what's really going on because they are, for whatever reason, choosing not to. Whatever's going on in the matrix is more important than embodying who they really are or tapping into themselves, listening to their inner God, their inner voice, and following that direction, right? But there are many beings that are awakening to the call, that are following the guidance, that are actually getting it. And those beings are the ones that are making the transition and that have made the transition, you know. So if the 3D matrix is collapsing underneath itself, naturally, those that are heavily ingrained within it are going to collapse. So the reason why the matrix has been broadcasting so much fear and intent, and it's been so intense lately, or this survival energy that everyone seems to be in to some degree, is because it is collapsing, and also it's trying to re-anchor beings that are leaving its timeline, many of us that are choosing to leave its timeline, because it understands that once we are fully gone and once our energy truly leaves, it can no longer touch us. And the matrix feeds off of the energy of the beings within it. The beings within the matrix, humanity, is a conduit, an energy source, right? A battery. So money is a currency within the matrix that they have programmed humanity to look at as the true currency, while they recognize that energy is the true currency because they use human beings as a battery to operate their grid. If too many human beings or beings could continue to leave, then it makes it more inevitable that their grid is going to collapse. Now their grid is going to collapse regardless, and they know that, the beings that govern the grid. But their process over the years and centuries has been to utilize a multitude of tactics to slow down the process of their grid collapsing, right? So slow down the planet's transition. So when I say the veil is the thinnest it's ever been, right now, this has been a long time coming. They have done a lot to delay and slow down the process of the shifting of this planet, of Gaia. They've done a lot to slow down the process over centuries, okay? And so, but now is the time. It is fully being anchored. The beings that are within it, many of us came here to do mission work, to wake other beings up, to assist, like myself. This is part of my mission work. I came in already a seer, already online to some degree. I could already see dimensional energies and beings. So I went through two different worlds growing up. My life is way different in how I orchestrate myself. And being on a higher timeline means now being in alignment with your gifts and being in alignment to service, as source intended. So this is where I'm at within my life right now. And I have dedicated a website. I have dedicated my mission work to attempting to assist others as a guide to help them through this transition and understand how energy operates in relation to their field, to understand what it takes to be on top of their field, to care for their field, proper energetic hygiene, things of that nature. Many beings are having attachments. They have a lot of external influences, all types of things that are going on, habitual patterns, thought forms, things that you think is your own, but it's not, and because I lived in both worlds and I experienced so much, I have a lot of knowledge and experience and wisdom when it comes to the experience of with energy and what goes on behind the scenes. And I want to educate people to understand that you are operated by energetic law. Okay, every being, everything in this universe, a rock, a tree, everything everything vibrates an energetic signature. Everything is governed by energy and energetic principles, and that includes us even that have physical avatars. Okay, the matrix grid is ended. It is collapsed. For those that do not want to be swept away with it, my advice, take it or leave it, educate yourself right now as much as you can about what is truly going on, and do your due diligence to release the identifications, the patterns, the loopings, the things that are in your field that are hindering you from reaching higher states of being. Okay? Yeah, it is prevalent that every being at this time prioritizes their energy field and does their due diligence to ascend to higher frequencies. Period. If you need assistance with that, that is something that I do in some of my sessions. If you need to do any pattern releasing, any clearing, I use my own intuitive gifts, my own nature to tap into your field, to help you see what's going on within it, to help you release the patterns, to recognize the patterns, recognize the things that are looping you and keeping you stuck at lower frequencies or lower octaves of frequency. I help you clear your field. I help you learn the work it takes to clear your field. So basically, check out my website at www.theremygate.com. I'll put it in the description, and just see the array of services that I do provide and see if it's something on there that may be for you or interest you.